Hello, everybody. Sorry about the late start, but welcome to the Kmu Live Podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Jabregi, and joining me down there is Derek Relaford. How you doing, Derek?
Doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
Been a week.
Sounds like it.
Oh, man. My procedure I had done Wednesday went well. I just couldn't do the show. Um, Still dealing with the after effects of the propofol they gave me for the anesthetic Wednesday, and so we postponed it until tonight. I can't remember if I told everybody what the procedure was, but it was a colonoscopy, and there's just a routine, but everything was good. And they're all clear. I don't have to have another one for another 10 years. So I'll be about 68 when I have the next one done. So,
Nice, man. So that
yeah.
that propofol, that's just like the stuff that puts you to sleep, basically.
Yeah. It's the same
So were
stuff
you
that killed
just
Michael
feeling like
Jackson.
that's what I was gonna say, the Michael Jackson, the milk stuff. Did it just make you like
Yeah.
super groggy or
It knocked me out. I mean, I remember I was laying on my side and had the IV in me, and they're like, "Here comes the medicine." I said, "Okay." And I'm laying there thinking, "Okay, I'm not feeling anything." Next thing I know, they're like, "You're done." I'm like, "Oh,
boom?
okay." I'm like, "Okay, I'm done. Good."
That's pretty wacky. I had my appendix out when I was like 18. And that's the only time I've been like put under, for a surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I woke up, that was the weirdest like I've ever just out of it. Like I mean I remember everything, but nothing seemed real.
Yeah.
Tonight we have obviously a bunch of cases to cover, but a few weeks, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, I don't know, 5 weeks ago, we had Brittany Valdez on the show.
Yeah.
And I've since then become pretty friendly with London's grandmother, who she was living with when she passed.
Right.
And so anyway, her grandmother's been like, she kind of keeps me in the loop with what's going on with that case. There was an arrest made.
Right.
A lot of big publications are covering that. Like People Magazine did a blurb about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also noticed there's quite a few other cases that are getting pretty quick resolutions. And like the only reason I'm into true crime is because, like, kind of like you, there's a lot of cases that have never been solved. And
Right.
there's a bunch of reasons why they didn't get solved. But at the end of the day, like if your family member, somebody who was their life was, abruptly ended unjustly and nobody, paid the price for it, that's gotta suck. But like, I'm sure you know more about it than I do, but one of the cases we cover pretty much weekly on this show, there's another arrest made, or at least they have a person of interest, and you'll talk more about that tonight. But I was just going to ask you: Is it? Do you feel like it's just luck that we're seeing a lot of older cases? Some of them are brand new cases, but we're seeing some older cases finally see closure. You think it's luck, or do you think that it has anything to do with detectives being able to run everything they know through AI and kind of weed out information and look for patterns? Or like, what are your thoughts on why we're seeing quite a few arrests made in either brand new cases or even old ones?
Well, a lot of it's technology. A lot of it's just like with the older cases, if they have um, DNA evidence, they're using like uh, genetic research to track down relatives of the suspect and finding the suspect that way. Some
Yeah.
cases, people are finally deciding to speak up. In some cases, like there's one I'm talking about later on tonight that has been resolved that we've covered quite a few times on the show. Um, Huge development in that one. That one is basically they had the information all along. It just took fresh eyes to weed it out. Basically,
In music, so you have the people who the band, they write the music, and then you have the engineer who records it. And then if you're smart, in my opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, I
mm,
think that you should only do one job. Like, so you have some people that are like, they're in the band, they also record it, and then they want to mix and master it. And like, I've heard a lot of people say, like, if you engineer an album, you shouldn't mix and master it because you've been around it too much. You need a fresh set of ears. And I think when it comes to like a lot of these cases, you're right. Like, it's not like the detectives couldn't see it, but like they had you think about like the original detectives on a case,
Mhm.
Sure, they might have had the information in front of them the whole time, but they also had all the wrong information, which was a lot more than there was the right information. So
Right.
it's got to be tough to like weed through all of all of just the leads that are literally just a waste of time, and then when the good one comes by, you might miss it. But I just I was thinking about it this week at work. I was like, man, there has been a ton of arrests, and it's awesome. If
Yeah.
you think about it, and a lot of them aren't even just arrests. Like since we started this show, Kenny Wrightcheck's been found. Um,
Mhm.
Based on everything I've been able to find online, Alexander Perez has never been found, but he has been avenged legally, in my opinion. I think he has. I think that Oscar Guy is serving time for Alexander not being around. London Valdez, there was an arrest in that case, which that one was really kind of relatively quick when you look at some of the cold cases. The
Mhm.
missing mom was like 14 days. I think that the police and the FBI and then the state ran bureaus. I think that they are on top of their stuff these days in 2025. I think that they're quick, they're fast, they do have really good technology, and if anything, I think the takeaway from all of it is think twice before you do something that's like a life altering decision, because
Right.
they will find you. I'm
Right.
a firm believer that they're going to find you in
And so far.
2025. Good luck.
Mhm. And so far, we got Christopher Renner in the house, and Rodney Cox is in the house, and Heather's in the house. How you doing, Heather?
Loving it, loving it. Yeah, that's so.
Yeah.
It's just been really. It's kind of cool, man. Because like you read the flyers every week, and you really
Mhm.
hope that you get like some information. But you do the show for 5 years, and you start to kind of get jaded on. You don't say it out loud, but you start to be like, man, I wonder if they'll solve any of these cases. We talk about
Right.
them week in, week out, and then that you just see a news article. It's like, yeah, they caught somebody, and it's just like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah. We
wow.
had a body found here in town a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Had a body found here in town. It was found over in a dry creek bed next to the YMCA is where it was found.
Wow.
And they're saying so far no obvious signs of foul play. An autopsy will be done to determine. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. I'll try to keep my eyes open on that as best I can.
What's your temperature been like the last 5 days?
It's been getting pretty chilly at night.
We just went to Walmart in a town over, and we moved back to Kansas. I was in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, for like 7 or 8 years. So I
Mhm.
literally only own one pair of pants. Like everything else is shorts, and the pants I own are like slacks that are really thin. Long story
Mhm.
short, like I notice when it gets cold now, and just walking from the parking lot to Walmart, um, it was like I think it was like 48 degrees, but I was like shivering by the time I got, and it made me think about that Chance Engelbert case, another one. Which I haven't had any confirmation that was actually Chance that they found, but if I was a betting man, I would assume that's a good chance that those are Chance's remains.
Yeah,
Whenever I first read about that case, they said that it was around the 50s, temperature wise, the night that he disappeared, and
yeah,
being dumb, I was like, oh, that's not cold enough to freeze, but yeah, it is.
right.
Especially if you add rain. Oh my gosh. But I told my kids when we got inside Walmart, I was like, if you'd have left me out there for an hour, I think I'd have been in trouble. And it's only like 48 degrees. I think I would have been in some
Yeah.
serious trouble.
Basically, the police department said that the police were dispatched,
Heather Berry, yes,
contacted.
we are current real quick. We are live. Heather Berry, sorry, we are live. But
Yeah,
go ahead, Ricky.
yeah. It said they released a statement that says Salina Police Dispatch was contacted by a deceased individual in the wooded area between Salina Family YMCA 570 YMCA Drive and Kenwood Park Drive at about 10:43 a.m. Officers with the Salina Police Department and members of the Salina Fire Department responded, located the individual in the dry creek bed. Individual was obviously deceased and appeared to have been there for several days. Police say no indication of foul play has been found at this time and an autopsy will be conducted. Currently, the decedent's name is not being released pending identification and notification of next of kin. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so just have to wait and see what they decide and if they do release more information. But I will keep my eyes open and see what I can find out on that.
What was the last Salina cold case that got solved? Like a case that was solved after quite a bit of time.
It's not a cold case that was solved. That's a good
Yeah.
question. I don't know. Come to think of it, it's been a while. It has been a while. What is the Abilene Police Department posting? Listen here, stupid phone.
Heather Berry says I'm here. But yeah, I just want to kind of open the show with that and just say that there has been a lot of especially in cases that are close to us, whether they're in the state of Kansas and Ricky does a flyer for them, or they're just close in proximity.
No.
It seems like there's been even the missing moms case. I think it was like 11 or 14 days or something that they were the 5 culprits that are behind bars right now were like out in the public still.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good when you look at cases like when we start covering cold cases at the end of the show, out of state, Dana J and Bruce, once you
Right.
get that many years behind something, 14 days is nothing. That's very impressive police
Yeah.
work to get everybody that was involved on a level that was they were there. It looks like they were cool with everything going down that way. Like they're out of the public's view at this point, and that's good. I think that all 5 of those people are a danger to society, until proven otherwise. But yeah, I just
Right.
think that it's really cool that you're seeing arrests really quick when things happen. Obviously, the best thing is for tragic things not to happen, people not to lose their lives. But in a
Right.
world where that's not on the menu, I'm really proud of a lot of these local agencies for finding the culprits and arresting them, and they're going to try them. And in some of these older cold cases, you're seeing arrests here, some 5, 10 with Alexander Perez, like pretty much 5 years later, there's kind of a resolution that his family can it's kind of bankable for Alexander's family. They don't have him, but they kind of know what the police think, that he's probably no longer here, and they think they got the person that did it. So that's a form of closure that's going to be great for anybody that was in Alexander Perez's life on an intimate level, if they knew him, so I think it's good that there's a arrest being made, and also people out there that are attached to somebody who doesn't have resolution.
Right.
Stay faithful and bide your time, and it might take a long time, but I am a firm believer, especially since working with Ricky for the past 5 years and seeing a lot of these cases find resolutions. I am now a firm believer that the American justice system works most of the time. Like, I think that there's not a situation where people aren't working on your loved one's case. It might look like they're not because you haven't heard anything for 18 months or something, but I'm a
Right.
firm believer that there's people working on it, for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, we'll be touching on the case later. We've covered quite a bit that has somewhat of. I mean, we can talk about it now if you want to. I
Yeah,
mean,
go ahead. Actually, we're talking about Texas, right?
yeah,
The one in Texas. Okay,
yeah.
right
That's it.
here.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. That case right there, Cynthia Renee Gonzalez. I'll read you one article that I've got pulled up here on my computer when it reloads. There we go. It is on Fox 4 KDFW. Arrest made in 1991 Arlington murder cold case following partnership with UTA students. Arlington Police Department has made an arrest in a 34-year-old murder case after a review prompted by a new academic partnership with the University of Texas at Arlington's Criminology Department. 1991 cold case arrest. What we know. Homicide detectives obtained a warrant for 63-year-old Janie Perkins on one count of capital murder in the 1991 slaying of Cynthia Gonzalez. Perkins was located by the U.S. Marshals North Texas Fugitive Task Force in Asley, Texas. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right. It was taken into custody on November 6, 2025. Backstory: Cynthia, 25, was reported missing by her husband on September 17, 1991. She left her Arlington home to meet a client. She worked as an adult entertainer. According to the Arlington police, her vehicle was found abandoned hours later. Police were looking into the possibility she'd been kidnapped. 5 days later, her body, which had been shot multiple times, was discovered dumped on private property in a rural area of Johnson County. The case remained unsolved for more than 3 decades, despite numerous leads. Cold case breakthrough. The breakthrough came earlier this year when Gonzalez's case was assigned to Arlington Homicide Detective for review. The case was one of 3 cold cases assigned to students in a new advanced criminology course launched by UTA's Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice in partnership with the police department. Students working the case began asking detectives specific questions about a woman named Janie Perkins, prompting detectives to conduct further research into the original case files. Perkins, a friend of Gonzalez, had been I'm not talking well tonight, had been investigated in the 1990s after detectives learned the women shared a romantic partner who had recently ended the relationship with Perkins weeks before the murder to be with Gonzalez. According to Arlington police, Perkins could not provide the original detectives with an alibi for where she was the night Gonzalez went missing. She also failed 2 polygraphs that were voluntary. When asked if she knew who killed Gonzalez or if she killed her, additionally, she made statements to investigators indicating she was glad Gonzalez was dead and that she'd even thought about killing her or having someone else kill her. Polygraph tests are not admissible in court, and Perkins maintained she was not involved in the murder. She was never charged. Current detectives, upon thoroughly reviewing the case files, discovered new witness statements that claim Perkins had admitted to her involvement in the murder and provided specific, verifiable details about the killing. They believe Perkins either participated in or facilitated the kidnapping and death of Gonzalez. After consulting with the Toronto County District Attorney's Office, detectives moved forward with filing criminal charges against her. See what they are saying. When we launched our cold case partnership with UTA, we hoped we'd get an outcome like this one day, said Chief of Police Al Jones. Of course, he said, I don't think any of us expected that lightning would strike the first time. I want to sincerely thank the students for their work and dedication to this case. I also want to thank UTA faculty for embracing this program. We hope this is just the first of more to come. Detectives recently met with students to let them know their questions helped secure an arrest warrant in the case. And that right there, I believe, is the conclusion of the article. So,
And then this is the
yeah,
lady right here.
I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, when it pops up, yep, that's her right there. That is her, Janie Perkins, 63 years old. Apparently, the whole thing, from the sounds of it, stemmed from a jealousy situation. Like the article said, he ended the relationship with Janie Perkins to be with Gonzalez, and apparently that set Janie off. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad that glad they finally got an arrest made in that case. And I will update Cynthia's flyer to solved as soon as a conviction is secured. So.
Yeah.
That's generally how I do it. Even though an arrest is made, I will say solved when a conviction is made because anything can happen in court.
Have you posted anything?
Anything.
You just posted like the news article on KMU or?
I think did I post something?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm
I was
not
just
sure.
asking. I would say you could amend the flyer just to say that an arrest has been made and
No,
basically.
I did do a
Okay.
post. I did do a post. Now that I think about it. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, I
'cause
had
I
issues
think
with it
it's
that morning.
I watch a lot of it's because of my algorithm probably, but when I turn on my YouTube, it just automatically like the first 5 recommended videos are like interrogation videos. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like I think it is possible to have just like random people out there that are serial killers, I guess, or random people out there that are just like thrill seeking by harming people. But I think the majority of like homicides, it is something that's just super personal like this,
Yeah.
like this lady Cynthia is, a beautiful girl, so some guy chooses her, and then this lady is like, not on my way. And again, like that's, in my opinion, like that's a not mentally well person if you're gonna go take somebody's life, because somebody like I've been broke up with before, you should never start plotting like to get rid of somebody, you know what I'm saying? So like it's
Yeah.
it is kind of, because we've read this. You have been doing this flyer since we started the show in 2020.
Yeah.
So it's been 5 years of reading this flyer, and every time you read a flyer that we don't know anything about, I always kind of try to imagine, what could have happened. And 10 times out of 10, if you would have asked me off the air, like, what do you think's going on here? I would have thought it was just some weird guy, like that, maybe like,
Yeah.
oh, she's pretty, and maybe he like wanted to date her, and she was like, not a chance. But it's this outcome is kind of out of left field. Like, it makes sense. Like, a love triangle is a pretty common thing, but this one I was pretty surprised to find out, like who they arrested and everything. But I just think that again, like I said earlier, uh anybody that knew Cynthia has just got to be on cloud nine, as far as
Yeah.
it's like itching a 30-year scratch. I'm scratching a 30-year itch, like that's got to feel pretty
Yeah.
good to know that's what might
Well,
have
Heather.
happened to my friend, pending the trial, but that this might be what happened to my friend, daughter, sister. And now, like, I can rest easier, like, because I have a resolution in my head.
Yeah. Heather Berry was Cynthia's best friend. So yeah, she's elated that her arrest was made. I can tell you that. And I put one of the comments up there. Love triangles, what the chief classified it as. She's charged with capital murder with terror threat. Cynthia's case reached all the way to Washington, D.C., being breaking news, which is cool. She's been on cloud nine since Monday, so many emotions.
Another thing like that too, like, it's London Valdez, People Magazine, like these cases that are getting solved, they're getting really, they're being talked about nationwide and stuff. Like, I don't know. I think don't harm people from here on out is my suggestion, because I think that if you do something dumb, like hurt somebody like this, in my opinion, and this time, like 2025, I think you're probably gonna get caught. Like, you're gonna go to
Right.
jail. They're gonna get you.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to save this picture, but I can't get the dumb. Whoops.
Esther Unders in the house. Well, I think that's great that there was an arrest made, and hopefully that will, we're going to obviously update our audience, and Ricky will update the page as far
Yeah.
as, updates on that trial as it goes on. And just really cool. It's really cool that they're arresting. Man, we're going to talk about some cold cases in the Kansas area. We do this every week. We'll also talk about some missing teens here in a little bit, and also a few out-of-state cases. If you're new to watching, make sure you go to Kansas Missing and Unsolved on Facebook and YouTube, and give it a follow, and turn on the notifications, and you can watch this show typically every Wednesday night. Ricky's had some stuff going on with his health, so we're on a Friday night, but we will be pretty much here every Wednesday night, 8:00.
Yeah. Did we decide we were gonna hold off on our show next Wednesday because of the holiday though? I think we talked about doing that.
We can kind of play it by ear. So we do. I don't have any family near me. Typically ever. So
Okay.
we usually just do something called a Friendsgiving. So we're doing that tomorrow. So I don't think I'll have anything going on Wednesday next week. But we can kind of play it by
Okay.
ear, because I might have something come up, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think I worked till 4:30 on Wednesday, so I'll be open that evening. Our schedule is kind of wonky because of the holiday, but yeah, I would be available to do that. Yeah. So yeah, we can do it. That's fine. What
It
I
says you
found
pay, you
interesting
play,
here.
eventually you're going to pay. I agree. I think you're
Yeah.
gonna get caught.
Yeah. What I found interesting. I'm going to show you something here. I had to send it to myself here real quick. Oh, come on. You still there?
I'm here.
Okay, because I think my computer might have just kind of froze up just a smidgen. So give me just a minute here. It's been pulling a stunt here every so often. Come on.
I think you have too many things open, brother.
It could be. I'm just waiting on it to save this picture. There we go. I'm trying to get it to save this picture I wanted to save. There we go. There we go. There we go. Finally. Finally. Trying to do too many things at once, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Where is that? Where the heck is it? Said it. Saved it.
I think your computer's
you stupid computer.
melting as we speak.
I hope not. I can't afford another one right now. I can't afford another one right now because I just found out I do have to definitely move. So.
Oh, really?
We thought we were going to be able to stay, according to what I found. Yeah, and then the new owners decided, oh no, everybody has 5 months to vacate. All this other good junk. So. I'll have to come back to it because it's just not wanting me to do it, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah. We only got like 30 minutes left because we have to start cooking and everything tonight. So we probably better hop on some cases.
Okay. I was hoping I could get it. Just a really cool little picture. Really cool little picture real quick here. Let's see if I can. Oh, now it's showing it's there. So why is it not? This is irritating. I hate technology some days. There it is. Now it's in there. Jesus. I thought this was kind of cool. I saw Heather put this in a group or a chat she started in Messenger. It's on the front page of the Fort Worth Star Telegram. And the red border should give it clean away that those are the photos from my flyer that I did.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. Oh, that was pretty cool. I'm trying to get a hard copy of that. Yeah, I definitely want to get a hard copy. All right, getting back to business here. Let's talk about Lori Heimer for a little bit here. Lori Heimer was stabbed in a rural Assyria, Kansas home on June 25th, 2016. Lori ran her business, Lori's Poodle Patch, from her home. Lori was a licensed breeder of miniature-sized poodles and other breeds and was licensed through the state of Kansas. Kansas Bureau of Investigation was contacted to assist Saline County sheriffs in the investigation. They responded with agents and their crime scene response team. During the investigations, 2 vehicles of interest were developed. Vehicle 1 was said to be an older flatbed pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet, which is described as beat up maroon in color with a white front bumper, silver grille, and wide style side mirrors. The driver was described as a man who was 50 years of age or older with salt and pepper hair. Vehicle number 2 was an older style small pickup truck, possibly a Chevy S10, with a 2-tone paint job, dark blue on the top and the bottom, light blue in the middle, silver back bumper, a newer blue tailgate that appeared to have minimal damage when compared to the body of the truck. Remainder of the vehicle is described as beat up and scratched up. There may have been 2 animal cages or crates in the back. The driver of the second vehicle was described as a white male, approximately 40 years of age, with shoulder-length hair and wearing glasses. Investigators have said they would like to locate these 2 vehicles. They would also like to speak to anyone that had any contact or a business appointment with Lori at any time between June 20th and 25th, 2016. If you have any information regarding the homicide of Lori J. Heimer, please call the Saline County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-826-6500 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. And there is a $37,500 reward being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of a person or persons responsible for Lori's murder. So if you have any information, no matter how small or unimportant you think it might be, get it called in because it may be something that they've been needing. So please do call that in and see what we can do to get some justice for Lori and her family.
Wow.
Yeah. And Haley Davis, we've been covering her quite frequently. She's missing from Salina, Kansas since July 21st, 2023. She was 19 when she went missing. She would now be 21. She's 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last dyed bleach blonde, and she had blue eyes. She left Salina with a male acquaintance to go to Wichita. She was last active on social media and last heard from on July 21st. Wichita police say the investigation has led them to believe that Haley may be deceased. Again, when she went missing, she was 19. She's now 21, 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts or the location of her remains, please call Detective Owen at 316-268-4185, or you can email aowen@wichita.gov. To remain anonymous, please contact Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111, or the KBI at 785-296-4017, or 1-800-572-7463, or you can scan that Crime Stoppers QR code and the Crime Stoppers banner down there. That'll take you to a form on the website that you can fill out and submit your information anonymously that way as well. So all kinds of avenues you can use to get information in. So if you do have any, please get it in there. And this one's Randy Agard. I recently spoke with a family member of Randy's that didn't even realize he was missing until he showed up on their news feed, they were telling me. I thought that was kind of wild. And as I go over the flyer, you'll kind of see why that was the case. But this is Randy Agard, missing from Kansas City, Kansas since April 1st, 2015. Was 58 when he went missing. He's now 69, 5'6", 140 pounds, white hair, blue eyes. He was homeless, and he drifted in and out of his family's lives and has not been heard from since 2015. So that explains why the family member didn't realize that he was missing, is because he basically drifts in and out of their lives. But again, when he went missing, he was 58. He's now 69, 5'6", 140 pounds, long white hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Randy's disappearance, or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000, or KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can get Randy located and back to where he needs to be. All right, and this is Brandon Shane Smith. Right there. Missing from Greenwood County, Kansas since August 6, 2022. 36 when he went missing. He would now be 40. 5'11", 240 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. He did not renew his CDL when it expired on his birthday in October 22, which is very unlike him. He had been known to drive over the road and has previously been employed in several positions in the oil field, as a heavy equipment operator, a certified hazmat instructor, harvest season worker, a farmer, an equipment mechanic, and was a forklift operator at Simmons. And again, when he went missing, he was 36. He's now 40, 5'11", 240 pounds. His weight does fluctuate. Has dark brown hair that when it grows longer, it gets curly, and blue eyes. He may have a dark beard, but is known to have a fade and a goatee. He does wear a hat and air-out boots everywhere he goes, and has only half a foot on the left side due to an oil rig accident in 2012. He has Jackson Dade Smith and a SIDS ribbon tattooed on his upper left arm with ERS and an Old English font surrounded by rosary beads and a cross down his left forearm, as well as a skull and crossbones with a hard hat partially covering Jesse Lier on his right forearm. If you have any information regarding Brandon's disappearance, or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Elk County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-374-2108, or the Greenwood County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-583-5568, or KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't help get Brandon located and back to where he needs to be. All right, and this one's Kyle Neugebauer, and my understanding today is they're going to renew search efforts in the area he was last seen in, only in a different direction from that area this time around. Kyle Neugebauer is missing from Wichita, Kansas since December 17, 2024. 26 when he went missing. He's now 27. 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Last seen near 143rd and Highway 254 in Wichita. Again, he was 26 when he went missing. He's now 27, 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Has a tattoo of the date 11/16/2018 on his inner left forearm, which you can see the picture of it at the bottom there. Last seen wearing a black Carhartt jacket, jogging pants, and tennis shoes. If you have any information regarding Kyle's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181 or 316-268-4111 or the 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See what we can do to get him located and back to where he needs to be. And Vincent Moore, decided to keep him in the show for another week because it's been a long time. He's missing from Wichita, Kansas since July 11th, 2015. He was 4 months old when he went missing. He would now be 10 years old. When he went missing, he was a foot tall, 14 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He was last seen in the area of 31st and South Hydraulic on the morning of July 11th, 2015. Vincent was last with his dad, Gary Moore Jr. According to the Wichita police, the boy was reportedly last seen near South Hydraulic in Tulsa near 31st Street South. A blue floral print diaper bag pictured above was supposed to be with Vincent. It remains missing as well. Police did arrest Gary, but never charged him with anything related to Vincent's disappearance. Gary claimed that he left Vincent with his mother, something she has denied. Again, when he went missing, he was 4 months old. He would now be 10 years old. He was a foot tall, 14 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Vincent's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita Police Department's Homicide Division at 316-268-4182 or Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111. Or you can call KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Vincent located and back to where he needs to be.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And this one's one that just... it's kind of baffling, really. I mean, it's Jamie Hernandez Zubia. It's an unsolved homicide. 13-year-old Jamie Hernandez Zubia ran away from her foster home in Athena, Kansas on June 9, 2012. Prior to her disappearance, Jamie had been prosecuted in a juvenile court for drug possession. She was due in court for her sentencing shortly after her disappearance. Jamie never showed up and was never seen by foster family again. There was unfortunately very little media coverage on Jamie's disappearance, likely due to her runaway status. 3 years later, during the early morning hours of May 30th, 2015, a Kansas City resident called the police to report a shootout on the 2500 block of Ridge Avenue. According to the witness, 2 vehicles fired shots at each other, and a female passenger in one of the vehicles was killed as a result. The female passenger's body was dumped on the side of the road, and the vehicles drove off before police arrived. 2 days later, on June 1st, 2015, authorities announced that the slain female was identified as Jamie. The identity of Jamie's killer remains unknown, as does the identity of the driver in the car, or of the car Jamie was riding in when she was shot. Additionally, Jamie's whereabouts from June 2012 through May 2015 still remain a mystery. Although she was ultimately found in Kansas City, it's unknown where she stayed or how she survived during those 3 years. Investigators said they received a tip that Jamie was in Kansas City back in 2013, but when they followed said lead, they were unable to find her. On the night of July 2nd, 2015, one of the vehicles involved in the crime was found abandoned by the Kansas City Police Department. The vehicle was described as a white late 1990s or early 2000s Ford F-150 pickup with flared sides, tinted windows, 20-inch chrome rims, and maybe a bullet hole in the tailgate. Touchscreen device was found inside the cab, but it's unclear what was inside the device and if any of it was relevant to Jamie. If you have any information regarding Jamie's murder, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the Athena, Kansas Police Department at 785-989-4521 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. Or you can scan that Say It Here QR code there on that little banner there, and that'll take you to a form on their website that you can fill out your information anonymously and send that way as well. Again, this is one that, a lot of questions. Where was she for 3 years? How did she survive? Who was she with? Who is responsible for her death? I mean, just a lot of unanswered questions. And I would like to see somebody step up and start providing answers for those questions.
Pretty.
Yeah. And this is a new one that I just did last night, as a matter of fact. Liliana Cluth. I don't know if it's Cluth or Cluthy. I'm not sure which. Went missing from Hutchinson, Kansas on November 18th, 2025. She's 18 years old, 5'8", 155 pounds, blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Liliana's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Hutchinson, Kansas Police Department at 620-694-2800 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Liliana located and back to where she needs to be.
Some missing teens.
Yep. And this is one that I did last night as well. Emily Miller, missing from Wichita, Kansas since November 1st, 2025. She's 17, 5'4", 140 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed pink, and she has brown eyes. It's believed she may be with an adult male. Again, she's 17, 5'4", 140 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed pink, and she has green eyes. She does have a nose ring in her right nostril, as you can see in some of those photos. If you have any information regarding Emily's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Emily located and back to where she needs to be. And this is a newer one too, and I'm going to be adding another photo to this flyer after the show this evening as well that was just sent to me. Where are you at, Lexi? Right there. Lexi Barlow, missing from Wichita, Kansas since November 11th, 2025. She's 14, 5'4", 120 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed black, and she has blue eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Alexis's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Lexi located back to where she needs to be. Excuse my yawn there.
You're good, man. It's getting late. It's 9 o'clock.
A little bit. And this is Destiny MacArthur. We've covered her in the past, and she was located, and she went missing again, this time from Kansas City, Kansas, since November 19th of 2025. I believe the last time was from Wichita. She's 17, 5'8" to 5'11", 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black T-shirt with a tie that was tied in the back. Excuse me. Showing her stomach and ripped blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Destiny's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Destiny located and back to where she needs to be. And Tiavani Williams, I know we covered her last week, but I added the photo on the far left, so I wanted to cover her again with the new photo that I added. She's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since November 1st, 2025. She's 16, 5'1" to 5'2", 135 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Tiavani's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can get Giovanni located and back to where she needs to be. Yeah, this is one that I just did last night as well. I'm locator in my list here. Alexis Jimenez, missing from Topeka, Kansas since November 6, 2025. 15 years old, 5'5", 135 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Unfortunately, don't have more than that. If you have any information regarding Alexis's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Alexis located and back to where she needs to be.
Couple out-of-state cases.
Yeah, just a few. All right, this case here is probably one of the earliest cases that I ever got involved with and started making flyers for, and actually became pretty good friends with one of her sisters, which I haven't talked to in quite some time. I need to try to see if I can't connect with her again. But this is Patricia Ann Lalonde, missing from Mount Olive, North Carolina since February 22nd, 2012. Was 43 when she was missing. She'd now be 56. She was 5'8", 95 pounds, bleach blonde hair, brown eyes. She was last seen in the 500 block of Franklin Street in Mount Olive, North Carolina. She went to a friend's house to get some medicine for herself and her boyfriend and left there driving her scooter. She's never been heard from again. Her 49cc scooter, a yellow Eton Beamer with black side mirrors and pink stickers on the front sides, was also missing. She did take her cell phone, but she did leave her purse and her wallet behind, and there is a picture of the scooter there. It's not a very good one, but picture of her scooter there. She does have contacts in the North Carolina cities of Mount Olive, Dudley, Calypso, and Warsaw. Her mother lives in Borger, Texas. Patricia may frequent areas associated with illicit drug and prostitution activity, and she may also carry a knife. She does have numerous scars from self-inflicted cuts on her arms and legs, tattoo of a scribbled word on her upper arm, and a tattoo of a Celtic cross on her ankle. She may have colored extensions in her hair, and her nickname is Trish. She does have 2 of her front teeth missing. She also suffers from multiple health problems, including a prior bout with cancer. She has, let's see here. She also was last known to be wearing a white tank top, a mini skirt, slip-on shoes, a black motorcycle helmet with multiple scratches on it. If you have any information regarding Patricia's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Mount Olive, North Carolina Police Department at 919-658-5031 and see what we can do to get Patricia located and back to where she needs to be. It's been a while, about 13 years, almost 14 years. But yeah, that's one of the earliest cases I ever got involved in. And I kind of dug it out of the files the other day and decided I wanted to start covering it.
Yeah.
This is Dana Jane Bruce, missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. 23 when she went missing, now 40 years old. She's 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair, green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia, Missouri. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. She was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man that Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. Told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her again after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She does not have any credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. And again, when she went missing, she was 23. She would now be 40. 5'2", weighs 98 pounds, has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with green or hazel eyes. Last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. She has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 866-362-6422 or private investigator Leslie at 910-427-0070 and see what we can do to get Dana located and back to where she needs to be. Okay. And this was Jeremiah Demetrius Moneta. He's one that we've been covering for a little while now. Missing from Ponca City, Oklahoma since January 17, 2025. Was 22 when he went missing. He's now 23, 5'9", 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He recently had moved to Ponca City, Oklahoma from Kansas City. His bank account has not been touched, and his apartment showed no signs of disturbance. His cell phone was found in somebody else's possession, and his asthma inhaler that he never leaves behind was found on a stranger's porch. Again, when he went missing, he was 22. He's now 23. 5'9", 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He does have facial hair and a Playboy bunny tattoo on his shoulder blade. He's last seen wearing a Kansas City Chiefs hoodie, jeans, and work boots. I'm assuming the hoodie up there on the far right would be the one that he was wearing. If you have any information regarding Jeremiah's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, call the Ponca City, Oklahoma Police Department at 580-767-0370. Or you can call the anonymous tip line at 580-762-5100. Or you can text your tip to PCPD, Ponca City Police Department. Plus your message to crimes274637 from your cell phone. Or you can email your information to crimestoppers@poncacityoK.gov and see what we can do to help get Jeremiah located and back to where he needs to be.
Whoops. My phone fell. So we got one more flyer.
Yeah. Yeah, no new updates from the sheriff's website, aside from the one that I talked about last week about the mom being arrested on unrelated charges. And I did think I saw an article where they said they didn't end up dropping those charges. So I'll have to revisit that article. But this is Melody Buzzard, missing from Santa Barbara, California since October 7th, 2025. She's 9. I haven't been able to nail down a height and weight yet. She has dark brown hair and brown eyes. They expanded the search for Melody to Nebraska after investigators in California said Melody had traveled through or to the state with her mother earlier that month, which would have been October. Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office said detectives recently confirmed that Melody was last seen in August 2025 through records from the Lubbock Unified School District. A later update released narrowed the timeline, saying evidence indicates she was with her mother, Ashley Buzzard, as recently as October 7th, 2025, and that the pair may have driven a white Chevrolet Malibu, California plate 9MNG101 outside Santa Barbara County, possibly as far as Nebraska. Authorities said the vehicle was a rental that is no longer in Ashley's possession. Detectives have described her as being uncooperative and said they have not received any verified information about Melody's current location or condition. The Nebraska State Patrol spokesperson Cody Thomas said that the state investigators are assisting and that the FBI is the lead agency in the case. And they also did release that the white Chevy had a New York plate on it during the time that Ashley had it. And when it was returned, it had the original California plate placed back on it. And they do not know where she got the New York plate. But anyway, Santa Barbara County detectives are urging anyone who has seen Melody or Ashley Buzzard since October 7th to contact their Criminal Investigations Division at 805-681-4150 or you can submit anonymous tips online at sbsheriff.org or through their tip line 805-681-4171. Officials emphasize that while the public concern is high, residents should not attempt to conduct independent searches, saying those efforts could interfere with ongoing investigative work. And another note was um, that during the time that they were uh, renting the car and stuff, as you can see in this photo, they were both wearing wigs. And investigators are saying that apparently while they were on the trip, Ashley would periodically switch up wigs to change her appearance while she was out there on these trips. So they're asking anybody that would have seen this car or seen Ashley and Melody to please call and let them know what information they have. So, and there was at one point, they were saying that they made a stop in Kansas at some point as well. So anybody that might have seen them anywhere, call them and let them know so they can figure out where Melody is and find out if she's okay. So
It's pretty wild, man.
that's another troubling case.
Yeah.
Hey, Ellen, how you doing? It's okay. You can always watch the replay. Always encourage people to watch the replay if you miss it, if you come in late or you miss it. To jump on the YouTube, which is under Ricky Tabruggi, my name - Kansas Missing and Unsolved. I tried to change it to just Kansas Missing and Unsolved, and for some reason they wouldn't let me do that. But
Really?
so yeah, you can jump on there and watch the replay there. That's fine. Apparently, Facebook was having issues with us. So Heather Berry was struggling trying to get the show come up on the Facebook. So I'll have to see if it eventually showed up or not. But who knows?
Yeah.
Facebook is always so much fun. Yeah. It's been a week. So yeah, don't forget, guys, my GoFundMe is still functioning and operational. If you guys want to continue to support that, and still working toward getting the surgery done. Again, I had the blood clotting issue that was finally rectified, and now I got to have dental work done, and they want $570 up front. So got to do that, and of course, after we get all that squared, then we can worry about rescheduling the heart surgery. And as of, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I was informed by the new owners of my apartment complex as the owners sold it to another company, or to a company. And originally they were going to let us go ahead and remain here. But as of Tuesday or Wednesday, they said, oh, nope, we're going to give you guys 5 months to vacate. So now I got to work on doing that now. So we'll see what happens there and where we end up. So
yeah,
I'm going to try to move just 2 complexes down from where I'm at into a 2-bedroom there, which is a multi-story. It's going to have the bedrooms, bathroom upstairs, main floor will have the kitchen and living room area and stuff, and then down in the base they have basements, and there'll be laundry hookups down there, which I'm excited about because that'll save me about $240 a month and be able to get my own washer and dryer down there to where I don't have to go to the laundromat all the time like I've been doing right now. So
yeah,
it's been fun, let me tell you. So keep everybody posted on that. But yeah, if you have that scroller for the GoFundMe, you can run it on there while I'm doing the prayer if you want.
Let me see if I have that in here. Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, straight talk on that. I want to thank everybody for joining us on the show tonight and being with us while we go through these cases like we do every week. And apologize we had to postpone it until tonight because of my appointment Wednesday and the anesthetic leaving me kind of out of whack. But that's what propofol will do to you.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned, propofol is the stuff that killed Michael Jackson. Of course, the doctor that administered it gave him too much of it. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, I believe we're going to go ahead and play it by ear for Wednesday's show next week. If we decide to do one, I'll have the event posted on Kansas Missing and Unsolved to let you guys know. So anyway, if we don't have one, have a happy Thanksgiving, you guys. If not, we'll see you next week. And just want to say, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight to go over these cases and try to get some missing people found and some unsolved homicides closed. And just grateful that Cynthia Gonzalez was an arrest was made there, and pray for a successful prosecution in that case. And just pray that people will step up and do the right thing and give up the information they may have in a case to help bring somebody home or to solve an unsolved homicide. And just want to pray everybody have a safe and happy Thanksgiving holiday. And until we see each other next show, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. God bless, and amen.
Amen.